This is not saying that these are the three best cards you can buy necessarily. This is just saying these are three of the top market indicators. What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Sam Dunks, the weekly NBA show over at SlabStox. I'm your host, Aaron, for today. Sam cannot be with us today. He cannot do the weekly Sam Dunks today. I'm sorry to say. I know you guys are probably disappointed seeing me on the screen, but hey, I got some basketball card market analysis to go over with you guys, and the three cards that should be the biggest indicators for the basketball card market heading into the next season. So I did just see from Adam Silver said that he's talking to top executives in the NBA, and it might be harder to get an NBA season going by Christmas Day. With the time obviously going on and no announcement of a season coming up, but it doesn't mean that there won't be a season this upcoming year. Of course there will be, and we are excited for that, and so is the basketball card market, and we will show you why. We really do hope that there's a season by Christmas. It'd be fun to have that classic Christmas Day slate of games, hopefully see the Bucks play, Giannis dominate and everything, except last year totally ruined my Christmas. When we got destroyed by the 76ers, unfortunately, a team that we rag on all the time. So not a great look there for us in the Bucks, but a lot to look forward to for this upcoming season for sure. And just a quick one today, I'll just screen share some eBay and some PSA card pop reports to show you guys the three cards that I'm watching going into next season to see how the rest of the market's going to change off of that. This is not saying that these are the three best cards you can buy necessarily. This is just saying these are three of the top market indicators out there that we can watch to see how they perform leading up to the season. And then we can also get a read on what else can follow from there in the basketball card marketplace. So let's pull up the screen share here. So the first card for us to look at here is the Luka Doncic 2018 Prism Base Rookie PSA 10. This card is always one of the number one indicators for the basketball card marketplace. You can pretty much track this card and get an overall feel for how the market's changing because everyone constantly wants Luka. And if the card's going down, you can pretty much understand that the market is just trending down that way. If it's going up, maybe Luka had a massive game, a triple-double with a buzzer beater like in the playoffs against the Clippers. But normally, a lot of the movement over the last 8 months has just been growing demand, and Luka is just always in demand, one of the top young players in the NBA. So very easy to watch this card and to understand what's going on in the marketplace. So what I'll be doing today is showing you the values from the end of September to the beginning of November, and we'll see how they changed. And then we can also just get a read for what might happen to the rest of the marketplace. So September 30th, we are looking at here sales between $1,275 and $1,300 on the Luka PSA 10. To get these sales here, I had to do some things to get the bad sales out of this, meaning sales that are not this card or not this grade. A lot of keyword matching had to go into it with including the card number, which actually does lose a lot of sales, but we can at least get a good enough read because these cards sell so frequently that we should be able to see, what the true value is. But, right here, $1,275 to $1,300 for the Luka on September 30th. We're going to jump all the way forward here to the most recent sales, and we are looking at between $1,376 and even $1,475 for a sale down there. You can see that's a large increase from $1,275 up to $1,375 to even up to $1,475. Now, of course, this all has caveats. Sometimes sales get bid up for certain reasons. I'll show you it in the Giannis when we go and look at that. Sometimes there's people who just try to boost the sales prices on some listings. Obviously, not very ethical, not at all, and something that we don't endorse in the slightest. But just keep in mind, you gotta look at the general read, lots of different sales to get the actual read on how this market's trending. So we're gonna scroll down to see October 29th to get a couple more sales in there. 1350, 1375. And there's another 1375. So can pretty much, say right now, 1375 to 1400 about could be the value of that Luka, which is obviously up since September 30th. So we see that card trending up a very small amount over the last month and a couple days. Hop over to the Zion Williamson 2019 Prism PSA 10. This is another card I like to track for the top market indicator because of the fact that such high supply. And, sometimes people say, oh, base Prism PSA 10, so many out there. Don't invest in them. Don't do this. Don't do that. But in reality, if you're looking for a Prism Zion PSA 10, this is the cheapest that you can get. So it definitely has its market out there because of how many people want to buy basketball cards and want to buy PSA 10 Prism rookies. They're worth money for those reasons, even if there are a lot out there. And even just forgetting about what's a good buy, what's not, just thinking about from the standpoint of this is the card that the most people can buy into because there's the most out there. We can look at the trend and really safely assume about a trend and understand how it's moving and actually, believe it versus there's just a couple sales here and there. We don't know if the overall public wants that card like crazy. We do know that they want this card like crazy, so we can track it and get an overall sense of how the market's moving. So it's September 30th here, 527 to 560 between these Zion sales on September 30th. Hop over to November 2nd and 1st. We're seeing between 560 and 640. So definitely up there as well on the Zion. Not as much as the Luka. As you guys can see, there was a 560 sale. And on November 2nd, there's another 560 sale, but some of these in between 625, 640, 625, 570. So really there's a lot of variance here. But what we do know is that it's up a bit. I'd say Luka's generally the leading charge in that, to where Luka goes up first, and then you got to start to see the Zion and then the Ja and Trey and other guys. Trey's definitely going up as well. I saw his Prism-based PSA 10s going up to like 490 now. So those are for sure up. And then moving on, we're going to move into a lower supply card here, more of an established star with Giannis Antetokounmpo, September 30th at $3,000 to $3,025. I guess if you include shipping, it's really $3,050 to $3,075, and that's on September 30th. Hop over to November 1st, and we're seeing 3,465, 3,450. This is a sale, I'd say. Let's discount it. The 4,250, that's definitely not a good market read. October 29th, 3,250, 3,300, 3,400. So we definitely can tell that this card's around 3,400, and the most recent sales have trended up to 3,450 to 65, which is definitely up from that. What was it on September 30th? The $3,000 to $3,075 range. So up, quite substantially there on the Giannis, even though it is a more expensive card. And those are really the three that I'm watching going into this next season. We start to see these things trend up to 3,700 on Giannis, maybe 1,500 on Luka, and 650 to 700 on Zion, whatever it might be. We can definitely get a read for that. Okay, this market is really picking up going into next season, like we had with COVID, going into the bubble restarting, all that stuff. Luka's topped out between 2,000 and 2,200. Zion's were around 800 to 850, and Giannis, of course, was up to between $6,000 and $7,000. So these cards do have room to grow, from where their peak values were, and that at least sets an idea of what can this get to. It's not to say that they will get to there. I'm not saying that Giannis is going to double. I'm not saying that Luka is going to go to 2K right away. All that stuff has to work out over time as more people get involved, buying, selling happens, all that jazz. But what I do know is that people can use these values as some, a point where they can think that they can get to. And that's all going to help when, the season starts to get announced. Buyers start to come back into the basketball card market, as they already are. We're seeing these small increases right now. So keep track of these cards. Then we start to see more people hopping in. And if you're wondering why I did not pick the LeBron James PSA 10 2003 Topps Chrome, while that is the biggest basketball card in the marketplace, without question, I did not choose it because it's not really representative of the overall marketplace. Not everyone out there who is collecting and buying and investing in basketball can get into a $9,000 to $15,000 LeBron card, while people that are out there can get into that high supply Luka. Of course, not everyone at the PSA 10 level, but then they can at the PSA 9 for 400, hopefully, or whatever Luka they can afford. It's not really about how much money do you have. It's just about, can you invest and buy and collect cards, which is really, what we want people to get involved with. We want to share our love for the hobby and for, the market and the industry, all that stuff. So we really do. If people can't get their hands on Prism Luka, we'll help them go and find something like a second year Luka or something else. But either way, these are the cards I'm watching. And just for y'all to understand, get some more info, let's just walk through their base pop reports really quick. Zion, Prism card number 248, 12,850 PSA 10, 23,000, over 23,500 total graded for the Zion base PSA 10. So clearly very high supply, super high supply. This is a 2019 Prism card that already has almost 13,000 PSA 10s, really high supply, which is actually even more encouraging, seeing that base PSA 10 Prism Zion go up, higher than it was a month and a couple days ago, which is huge. Definitely something big that the market's trending back towards. Not necessarily the peaks, like I'm trying to say. Definitely don't want to get, an unrealistic perception of what can happen. but definitely something that's important, something to think about how the basketball card market's changing leading into the season, where you can go and invest hard into, the different top brands, different top players, even some players you might try to find that can, really explode onto the scene, anything like that. Next would be this Luka. I know I did this pop report out of order. Sorry about that. But 14,274 PSA 10 Lukas out there out of a total of 23,650 plus. Quite a bit there, of course, too, like the Zion. Crazy thing is that the Luka was in the market and out of production for over a year before the Zion, and the Zion's already catching up to the Luka. So I think we can see what's happening there. Many more Zions out there than Luka. Either way, the point still remains super high supply card. Definitely trending in the right direction right now. Really, all this is just pointing to indicators of how people can start to view the basketball card marketplace and start to jump into different avenues in it. And that's where we see the widespread expansion of the values in the basketball card market. And then lastly, Giannis, Prism rookie number 290 from the set from 2013. 2,367 PSA 10s of 3,300 and actually that's 3,400 exactly. Sorry, is adding up the 8.5 and the qualifiers and stuff to get the total. 3,400 exactly graded out there. So clearly way lower supply, but trending in the right direction as well. You guys heard what I said throughout the whole video. All this just points to how people are treating the basketball card marketplace. Of course, it can't be every single card in the marketplace at one time. It can't be the Luka, the Zion, the Ja, Trey, Giannis, Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray, Karl Anthony Towns, all these other players out there. But it can be a tiered effect. And as the market grows with more people coming back in as the season approaches, preparing for that season, just like people did with football, keep in mind, except that was even more ridiculous and something that we definitely I would not have recommended to jump in towards the top at all. But for this basketball card market, definitely something you want to be looking into right now, leading up to the next season. When that date gets announced, get ready for more people to be hyped about it as Christmas approaches. And if we can get a start date around Christmas or near Christmas, it's going to get crazy for sure. And we're really excited to be reporting on it. I'm excited for Sam to get back next week, and for sure. And, he's very thankful that I was able to step into the video. And, it's nice to be here on the Sam Dunks. I know it was a short one, maybe sometimes shorter than the Sam Dunks itself, but it's all important research to get out there for the basketball card marketplace for y'all to be thinking about heading into next season. So if you have any questions, feel free to DM me at SlabStox Aaron on Instagram. I try to hit those up as frequently as I can, get pretty high volume, but try to answer questions if I see them. And thank you all for watching this Sam Dunks. My name is Aaron, your host for today, not Sam, but I will see you guys in another video. Of course, do a ton of videos over here at SlabStox. Look forward to having Sam back next week, and maybe catch you guys in another Sam Dunk sometime.